Hey, Motorman here. It's a beautiful day for a ride, so today we're going to take a little ride and we're going to talk about high-speed handling and low-speed handling, and I'm going to make it as simple and easy as possible. Okay, I've talked about this before, but I still get a lot of questions about, well, let's start with counter steering. There's people who've been riding for many years, don't understand it. They say it doesn't work this way, but it's simple physics. So I'm coming around this curve. I got a curve to the right now, so I got to push forward on that right grip. The more I push, the more the bike leans to the right. Coming up to a curve now, it's going to go to the left, so I'll show you my hand. Doing this one-handed, so I push forward on the left grip, the bike leans to the left and goes to the left. Once again, I push forward on the right grip, the bike leans to the right. If I want to tighten up this curve, get closer to the side here, I push further. Push forward on the right grip, the bike leans to the right and goes to the right. Push forward on the left grip, it leans to the left and goes to the left. It is as simple as that. Now the fact is, whenever you're on a two-wheeled vehicle, you are always counter steering it. The speed doesn't matter. But you've heard me talk about handlebar steering at 15 miles per hour or so, or below that. The reason I say that is to make it as simple as possible, because I believe in keeping things simple. At low speeds, when you're turning the handlebars and turning the motorcycle, you could clearly see that you're turning the handlebars. What you're actually doing is pushing on one and pulling on the other. But that's neither here nor there. For instance, if I want to make a U-turn right here, I can clearly see that I'm turning the handlebars. It's an easy thing to understand because you're looking at it and seeing it. What you don't realize you're doing at these low speeds is, like I said, pushing on one bar and pulling on the other. So yes, I know that you're always counter steering on a two-wheeled vehicle, but I like to break it down into two separate things. One I'm going to call handlebar steering at low speeds, and the other I'm going to call counter steering at high speeds. The other thing that's I guess is a misconception about it is trail braking. Now I'm going about 40 miles an hour. I'm coming around a curve. I don't have to do much. I'm just holding my throttle steady. I'm nowhere near the bike's lean limits, so I don't have to use either brake. Don't have to brake at all. But if I was coming around this curve at 70 or 80 miles an hour, it would be helpful to pull down the front brake just a little bit. The reason for that is when you do that, the front end dips down, there's more traction on that front tire. Here we're going to make a turn, and again, I'm going to call it handlebar steering. It's a low-speed turn. Notice those handlebars. If I don't turn my head, you can see the handlebars are turned, right? Easy enough. So, under normal circumstances, nice leisurely ride, coming around a curve, and these are pretty wide curves. It's not like it's the Dragon or anything like that. So, but if I want to put a little bit of pressure, trail a little bit of brake pressure into the curve, and then trail off when I'm not nervous about my lean angle, they call it. When you're nervous, that's when you got to go to the brake. Yeah, you know, if you're going at a really quick pace, it's probably a good idea to get on that brake. If you're coming around a blind curve and you're already on that front brake, and if something gets in your way, whether it be some gravel on the road or sand or a deer standing around that blind curve, if you're already on the brake, the chances of you snatching or grabbing a hold of that front brake are much less. Because if you snatch it or grab it, yeah, there's a chance that the bike could go down. So I'm getting ready to brake for this curve right here. I'm on the brake, I'm trailing on brake pressure. Now I'm at a speed that doesn't make me nervous to make that turn. so I trail off the brake. This ain't brain surgery, folks. We're not docking the space shuttle. We're just riding a motorcycle, and we're trying to ride it the way it was designed to be ridden. Where a lot of people have a problem with the counter steering part, because everybody counter steers. If you ever made it around a curve without crashing, you've counter steered, didn't even realize that that's what you were doing. The problem arises when something gets in your way. If a car is coming down the opposite way and he's coming over to my side, people have a tendency to try to steer the way you would your car. That means the car's coming this way. Across the double yellow line, he's heading for me. Your instinct will be to try to turn the opposite way. Well, if I turn this way, I will run right into that car. So that's why it's important to understand how counter steering works and why you should know exactly how it works. But easy thing to learn. I'm cruising down here. Look at this. I'm pushing on the right bar, I push on the left bar, I push on the right bar. This is an easy way to understand how counter steering works. And you should know, if you ride a motorcycle, you should know exactly how it works, and you should practice it. Well, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I hope you understand now exactly how it works. Please subscribe, and of course comment below. I love to read the comments. I read most of them. I don't answer every one of them, but if it requires an answer, I certainly will give that a try. And don't forget, I have a new channel on YouTube called Muscle Cars Old and New. You can look that up if you're into cars, classic cars, muscle cars. And it doesn't matter if they're old or new muscle cars, mainly classic muscle cars, but I think you'll enjoy it. So check that out, Muscle Cars Old and New. Thanks for watching.